Okay, let's dive in. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating new report. It looks at some of the world's toughest conflicts, especially the Israeli-Palestinian one, through a mystical lens.
Yeah, it's quite a perspective. It argues these aren't just political problems.
Right, it calls them symptoms of a deeper issue, a spiritual malady, an exile of consciousness.
hmm That term exile comes from Jewish mysticism, the Zohar specifically.
And it describes, what, like a kind of tunnel vision?
Sort of a constricted awareness, failing to see the underlying unity of everything. We get stuck seeing only the surface, the differences.
Which the mystics call the Sitra Atra, this realm of spiritual husks.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is how Lurianic Kabbalah builds on this. It talks about creation starting with a kind of cosmic shattering.
The shattering of the vessels, Shevirat HaKelim.
That's the one. So the idea is we live in a world of rectification, Olam HaTikun, where we're meant to gather the scattered sparks, basically.
Okay, and this explains why normal diplomacy might stall out.
Well, yeah, the argument is that diplomacy often just tackles the symptoms: land, borders, security.
Without getting to that deeper, fractured perception. Like trying to glue a vase back together without understanding why it broke.
Precisely. You got it.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for me. The report looks at the Abrahamic story differently.
Right. Not as just history or property deeds.
Yeah, more like a symbolic map of the human psyche almost, like Sarai's barrenness. It's not just a lack.
No, it's reframed as profound latent potential, hidden possibilities, even suggesting Ishmael's role is, well, indispensable.
So the births of Ishmael and Isaac aren't just family history either.
Symbolically, no. They represent a kind of fracturing of this unified Adamic consciousness, an imbalance maybe between divine energies.
Like cheesed, loving-kindness, and Javura judgment.
Exactly those. And the report suggests that healing the external conflict requires integrating both of those within us collectively, finding that balance.
Wow, okay, so Hagar and Ishmael's exile.
Yeah.
Usually seen as tragic, right? A rejection.
But mystically, it's seen as an initiation, a necessary journey.
How so?
Well, both Kabbalah and Sufism offer ways to look at it. The Zohar sees Hagar going into that difficult realm, the Sitra Akra, and finding Bir Shiva, a source of divine life right there in the middle of despair. It suggests suffering can actually be a catalyst.
Okay.
And Sufism sees Hagar embodying tawakkul, this active trust in the divine. You do everything you can, and then you surrender. That's when the wellspring, marifa, or inner knowledge appears.
So the connection is, this exile requires that kind of trust, tawakkul, to navigate conflict.
That's the idea, cultivating collective trust even when things seem hopeless.
So if Abraham turning to Hagar created this inner crack, this psychological exile, what does the report say that it means now?
This is pretty radical. The Zohar actually states, and the report highlights this, that the children of Ishmael are destined to rule over the Holy Land for a long time, until the reward for the merit of the children of Ishmael reaches completion.
Wait, really? That completely reframes things.
It does. It suggests Israel's redemption, its path forward, is tied directly to a just relationship with Ishmael. Peace isn't just a goal, it's like a mystical prerequisite for both sides.
A heavy concept. So, practically speaking, what does the report suggest we do? How do we apply this?
Well, the author, Ambassador Haltom, proposes something symbolic but powerful. Adding the Hebrew letter He to Hagar and Ishmael's names.
Making them Hagara and Ishmael. What does the He signify?
It symbolizes divine breath, repentance, teshuva, and the union of spirit and matter. It's like a performative act.
An attempt to rewrite the story, from exclusion to inclusion.
Exactly. To start healing that original split.
Yeah.
The idea is that the conflict is stuck in strict judgment, that zero-sum thinking.
Right, win-lose.
Yeah. And the path forward needs rechamim, mercy, compassion, boundless love, like the shift during the Jewish High Holy Days, from judgment towards compassion.
So negotiations become almost a spiritual practice.
In a way, yes. And it's not just abstract. Malkut, the kingdom, is the physical world. That's where this stuff has to become real.
An impulse from below brings forth the impulse from above.
You got it. Our concrete actions, creating just policies, fair economies, those become the liturgical acts that actually make peace possible.
So the birthright, in this view, isn't just land.
No, it's reimagined as the infinite potential of a collaborative consciousness, moving beyond scarcity thinking.
Like the pandemic example the report uses?
Yeah, Haltom calls it a circumcision of nations, a painful global event, Din, that forced us to see how interdependent we are.
Okay. And Ishmael's inheritance then becomes?
The wisdom to manage and share abundance. The key to unlocking that wellspring, buried in the sand, it shifts focus from old claims to building a shared future.
And who are the meek in this context?
Not passive people, they're the systems breakers, those who challenge artificial scarcity
Oh my.
by demanding things like debt relief, championing open source solutions for medicine or green tech, pushing for universal basic services, even decolonizing AI.
So these political and economic actions are actually acts of tikkun olam, world rectification.
That's the fusion.
Yeah.
Mystical purpose driving radical, practical change.
So this permanent covenant they talk about, it's not a final document.
No, it's dynamic, an ongoing process, a verb, like you said.
A constant choice.
A collective choice for reciprocity over rivalry, stewardship over ownership, mercy over judgment. That's how, according to the Zohar's promise, they will go out of exile.
So the final vision isn't one side winning.
Not at all. It's recognizing the inheritance was always shared, like tending a garden together, making it flourish for everyone.